From historic Key West, Florida, Multivision presents the KeyWest NPBA World Series of Offshore Racing. Gino Montrone has brought his three-time national champion Instant Air from New Jersey. He'll be looking for a win in the open class. Also from New Jersey comes Bob Molinari and his very fast 30-foot Chris Cat, the American Spirit. In E-Class, John D'Elia of Greenwich, Connecticut, has entered Special Edition with his son JD at the throttles. He'd love to help his dad win the World Series for his birthday. It won't be easy, though. They're up against some heavy competition from local favorites Mike Horn and Rich Keelan, who are in the KeyWest Express. There's also Nick Casula and his Terminator team to contend with. They have come all the way from New York and are just as serious as those four 250 horsepower Mercury outboards. There's some brutal G-forces on the transom of that cat. In D-Class, Butch Matavecchi has both Star Chaser, the 41-foot Apache boat, and Mike Florio, his throttle man, ready and well-tuned for this event.
Gino Montrone, we want you now.
We'll be there.
In C-Class, watch out for Greg Santonato's 27-foot Cougar Cat Air Ride and Key West's own D. Kimes Crime Buster race team.
Hello, everyone. I'm Frank Bolton.
And I'm Al Southern, and we're happy to be your co-announcers on this Multivision Sports Special.
Together, we'll bring you the largest offshore powerboat event that the NPBA has ever hosted before.
That's right, Frank. This is a World Series race, which means that all the boats are required to run twice. The first race will be on Tuesday and the second on Saturday. On Thursday, we have the Kilo Run, where all the drivers will be going for a world speed record. And the powerful mini boats come out on Friday with competition just as real as in the offshore class.
So get ready for some spectacular powerboat racing coming your way from Key West, Florida.
Riding on a white whale, gonna make this my day. With the sea under me, it sets my soul free, makes me feel I'm alive at the speed that I drive. Riding on a white whale, gonna make this my day. And this town that I'm in will know when I win that this race was the test. Now they're seeing the best.
This Multivision Sports exclusive is being brought to you by MPCS South, Video Sales Service and Rentals. The industry's leader is MPCS South of Hollywood, Florida. And by South Air of Fort Lauderdale. For specialized service on Cessna aircraft and first-class charter planes, call on South Air. And by Hilltop Chrysler Plymouth, New Jersey's #1 dealer in Chrysler Plymouth and Zimmer Motor Cars. The December World Series offshore race was designed with the onshore spectator in mind. The boats will run through Key West Harbor, and instead of heading out to sea, will travel up the island once they pass Checkpoint 1 off Fort Taylor. At Checkpoint 2, which is the far leg of the course, the boats will turn back and never get farther than 1 1/2 miles from shore as they come down to Checkpoints 3, 4, and 5. From there, it's on to Checkpoint 6 in Man of War Harbor, the site of the start-finish line.
Now we see the Terminator, another 30-foot Chris Cat. They are running with four 250 horsepower Mercury outboards.
The owner here is Nick Casula out of Bohemia, New York. Mario Delamonte, the driver, the throttleman, Nick Casula. And a good look at the bouncing going around in that cockpit, Al.
You can see the difference between the first day of racing and today. That chop really bouncing the boats up and down, especially these catamarans. Lady L is a 27-foot Signature. They're running with two Chevy engines, 400 horsepower. The owner is Peter Meyer out of New York. The driver, Anthony Lecaro. The throttleman is Peter Meyer, and the navigator, Thomas Lampus.
And there you can see the effects of that chop. Pretty good, those heads bouncing around in the cockpit there. And now we're taking a look now at the outrageous team. That's a 33-foot Sutphin, two GM engines, 500 horsepower each. The owner, Paul Revelle Jr., the throttleman, Jeff Sears.
And a great shot as we look towards the horizon out here on the Atlantic. Some of the most beautiful waters you'll find anywhere in the world. In the dry pit area, it's time to rebuild and make ready for the upcoming races. Here, every last detail is gone over carefully to assure that the boats will perform at the highest speeds possible. A barrage of dials and gauges keep the racers well informed that once underway, all the systems are operating properly. The fuel system in this boat has numerous pumps which draw gas from the main tanks into a catch tank to keep the air out. 3 more pumps draw the fuel from there and send it through to each motor. John D'Elia coming up by Mallory Square.
And passing the beautiful pier house at the end of Duval Street in Key West, that's a KeyWest Express, and we get a wave to the crowd out there on Mallory Square. And it looks like the engines have kicked in again here, Al, because they're moving along really well.
Really get a good sense of the speed from this angle, Frank, as they approach the 80-mile-an-hour mark.
We'll be right back with some more NPBA powerboat races after these commercial messages.
We're glad you're back with us in Key West. And now we're here in Mallory Square. Every evening, local residents and tourists alike gather to join in on the festivities. Browsing through the artifacts a few of the town merchants have put on display, as well as sampling some of the island's native delights, is an attraction in itself, but not the main one. Most of the performances put on here help to keep the crowds amused until a more timely demonstration takes place. This traditional gathering is no doubt the most spectacular one performed here each and every night. It's called the Sunset Celebration, and as you can see, one picture is worth 1,000 words.
We're back to racing action, and Star Chaser is now in first place in the D division. It's a 41-foot Apache just slicing through the waters. Butch Montevici and Mike Florio at the controls, racing out of Staten Island and looking real good so far, Frank.
And here we have Crime Buster in the C-Class, C10, the 24-foot Cat. Owner D. Kimes, driver Jim Kynes, Tad Kynes, the throttleman. They're out of Key West.
And we're going to have our first winner. This is in the open class, Instant Air, heading across the finish line. Let's go down to the pits.
All right, the most obvious question, how does it feel to win?
Well, it's not a new feeling, but we had something to prove today, and the instructions were when they left the dock was to not hold anything back, let it all hang out in first overall or nothing. And I think we brought back what we said we were going to do.
And your winner in the E-Class, Special Edition, with John D'Elia and his son, J.D.
All right, we're here with the winner of the E-Class Special Edition and the owner-driver, John D'Elia. John, how does it feel to win?
Well, it feels great. Of course, this is my first race with my son, J.D., and he gave me a great birthday present today, a victory. It was great. It was a great experience for J.D. This is his first time in an inboard throttling, and he did a great job. Real proud of him.
Taking top honors in C-Class, air ride with owner-driver Greg Sandonato, throttleman Alan Swyman. Taking the A-Class, Corvettes Plus with the driver Jim Svensson, the throttleman Jim Boyd, a time of 87 minutes, 55.59 miles an hour. And finally, taking the Class D championship, Chin Chin with driver Fred Altschuler and throttleman Tony Caligari.
Well, that's our telecast from Key West, Florida. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be looking forward to seeing you again in May when Multivision brings you offshore powerboat racing from Panama City, Florida.
That's right, Frank. We will start the 1988 season with Oprah's first divisional race. So for Multivision Sports, I'm Al Southard.
And I'm Frank Bolton. So long for now.
Now, wait a minute. Now, don't fool around because you give me a serious look. See, he's got to get a slap like this. That's how we work it. Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Hi, this is Leo and Jeff. We're staying in the engine compartment of Outrageous. He's outrageous, now I'm outrageous.
It's on the engines.
So on the motors.
My name's Mike Horn. I'm co-owner of the KeyWest Express, and the reason I reiterate so well is because I ran for mayor in Key West.
Hi, my name is Mike Florio. I'm the throttle man for 41-foot Apache. The name of the boat is Star Chaser. This is Butch Montevici. He's the driver. And this is Jimmy Montevici.
Anybody know what you brought home today?
The checkered flag.
Brought home the checkered flag. All right, thank you.
Jimmy. I will be back because we want it now. And Billy Fred, let's have a drink, folks.